Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to become the magician of your life and how to create your universe on purpose rather than randomly. How the laws of the universe obviously are there to help you, and how to bring in your desires from 5D to 3D. I'm a manifestation coach. All the info is below. I coach with emails and audios that are specifically tailored to your manifestational goals and problems. I recommend that you spend at least a month with me for two reasons, because it's extremely discounted for the time that we spend together. It's unlimited audios and emails, which means we cover everything. Everything. We go through what's blocking you, what are your manifestational goals, all sorts of techniques, affirmations, even prayer if you're into it. I understand, people have been raised differently, etc., etc. And also, because it does take at least 30 days for your brain to start rewiring, to acquire new habits in the right direction. If you want to spend more than 1 month with me, people have done that and that has worked even better, but I recommend at least a month so that we don't have to, keep watching emails or audios. Like, I don't think it actually works for you to spend your money on 5 emails, as it were, because it doesn't really solve much, is what my point is. So I wanted to cover this topic of how to change the specific person, literally by jumping into a parallel reality. So I keep coming back around to this topic because I see so much misinformation on this topic and have seen so much misinformation. And I like the truth. And my style of coaching is that I give you just the raw, direct approach without my own personal kind of projections, or, sometimes people just don't believe something is possible and they tell you it's impossible. I think anything is possible. Why? Because it is. And I also don't judge people. If you want to manifest somebody or something, knock yourself out. Do whatever you want, as long as you're not hurting anybody. But then again, you won't need to when you understand you can manifest anything. And so in a specific person, because lots of people tell you, you shouldn't want to mess with somebody's mind. You shouldn't want to mess with somebody's free will. Excuse me, nobody else has free will in your reality. You're not messing with anybody's mind. You are the only mind in your reality. So I have a whole other different perspective rather than some people who have these obsolete, frankly, unintelligent ideas that belong to the past. All is one mind. You are all, and all is you. You are the universe. You are the chair you're sitting in. You are the room that you're sitting in, or you are the house that you're living in. You are the street you live on. You are the trees. You are the stars. You are everything. And thus, obviously, you are that specific person. So you're not messing with anybody's mind. You are that person. That person is your creation. You created that person. When you met that person, even before you met that person, you were in the process of creating that person. That person, the way they first came to you to your life, is an amalgamation of your thoughts, feelings, memories, experiences, doubts, insecurities, all that crap. This is your creation, okay? Therefore, ergo, you're in every goddamn position to change that person, and you don't owe anybody an explanation. Okay, now that we have that free will bullshit covered, let me explain to you that, first of all, when you created this person, you created that person from a sloppy thinking stance. And the way you're going to change that person is by jumping into a parallel reality, literally. And by the way, when I say specific person, yes, I usually mean in a romantic sense, but it doesn't have to be. It can be a friend, it could be a coworker, family member, you name it, anybody. Specific person is a specific person. It's just a person. So right now, as you remember this person, and chances are you haven't been speaking to them, or you're on bad terms, or you don't like how they act, it's usually a very kind of frustrating situation, which is why you're listening to this. You have superimposed on this person your feelings, your frustrations from the beginning. It's a reflection of you. It's a reflection of what's inside of you. It has nothing to do with the other person. That the other person is just carrying out your commands. Your thoughts are going into the universe and everybody's picking up on them. But everybody. Okay? It has happened to me so many times that in one day, I can literally summon people by not even texting them, but by thinking of them. They're texting me or they're emailing me. So your thoughts go out into the universe and they penetrate people's minds. They're more powerful than your text messages, than your emails, than your blogs or your Facebook posts, because it literally affects other people. And since we've established that other people are a part of you, they're your creations, it's literally a one big universe that is made of your energy, of your thoughts, okay? Thus saying you're the only one in charge. Okay? So when people say these nonsensical things like, what about free will and what about messing with other people's mind? There is no other mind. There is only one mind, and it is you. It's all about you. It has always been all about you. You're the only one thinking in your universe. So enough with these nonsensical premises, okay? Now, the way you're going to change the other person if they obviously demonstrated some unpleasant behavior towards you is, number one, you're going to completely rescript them. Scripting is a technique I swear by because it works, because it's the most powerful technique there is. You're not going to come up with any other technique. Visualization is very, very great, and it does work, of course. I'm not going to say that it's any less powerful. However, I will say that scripting puts it on paper and in front of your eyes, and it goes into a lot more detail than visualization does. And you can achieve with scripting and rescripting a person with detail. You can accomplish a lot more with that rather than just visualizing something. It's sort of like you're scripting a new character of this person. You can also do this for yourself, but we're focusing on a specific person right now. So once you've rescripted, and you should do this, probably on one page so that it's easier to see. So get yourself a pad that's big enough, because I'm sure you'll have a lot of thoughts on that. Understand that what you're going to do next is you're intentionally going to jump into a parallel reality in which this person And I'm going to really take a pause here because I want you to pay attention. This person was never the way you remember them. They were never that way in the past. They were always this new way. In other words, you're going to jump into a parallel reality in which what you've scripted was always that way. It was never another way. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So whatever you remember and you regurgitate that old story that you love so much and all this kind of stuff, it doesn't exist, and it never existed in that parallel reality. So, you can talk about the old story that only you remember, but this new version doesn't remember it, and that person has nothing to do with it. That's how deep the rabbit hole goes. Yes, indeed. And therefore, what you're going to do, especially if you're in no contact and all this kind of bullshit, you're not talking to this person. I don't believe in no contact, but if you're just not talking to this person for a while, it's a great opportunity to really focus on this new reality so that it becomes your new reality. So you are going to completely enter this reality and disregard everything else. That's it. And it's not so much that, I've jumped into a parallel reality and now I have to make something happen so that this person becomes comes along with me into the parallel reality. No. No, that person was always that way. Like they were just waiting for you to create something different. Does that make sense? Is this too simple? So, in other words, what I'm saying is that your thoughts, your deliberate intentions create a new reality. They literally restructure reality. But instead of working so arduously and changing another person, as people say, you're not changing anything. You're just jumping into a parallel reality in which it was already so. So there's nothing to make it so. It was already always so, as Neville says. This is why creation is kind of like very simple. The only thing creation is waiting upon is you. You're the centerpiece. Like you're the god of your reality. You're always traveling through billions of parallel realities per second. So choose the reality that you want, but choose it on purpose and make it, is it too simple? Well, by God, I hope it's simple because it should be. This is why I said in the beginning that lots of people create all sorts of bullshit around it and misinformation, making it too complicated. But in fact, it's actually quite simple. It just takes a little something called belief. And if you have belief that this is actually what's happening, and it is, mechanically speaking, physically speaking, in terms of metaphysics and physics, this is exactly what's happening. The other person, the other version that you've met of that person has nothing to do with the version that you can say you created that version, but it always existed. It has always already existed because you cannot think of a version of this person that doesn't exist. Name a version of this person and it exists. Yeah, it does. Just like there are so many different versions of you as well. So name a circumstance that you want to enter into your life other than a specific person, let's say. It does exist too. Does it blow your mind? I hope it does. I'll close with this. If you have any other manifestation goals and you want to reach me and be coached by me, all the information is below. Thanks so much for listening. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.